All right, so there has been a decent amount of buzz around Sony's new hero shooter, Concord. I know we talked about it over on the GGG Podcast, so if you're looking for more information about Concord, go ahead and check out our podcast. I'll post it in the description below. But yeah, there are a lot of takeaways I had from playing the first beta weekend of Concord. And obviously, a lot of people are immediately comparing it to Overwatch, which I think is a fair comparison. It is a hero shooter, so any hero shooter that comes out is going to be compared to Overwatch, so I definitely get that. But I got a lot of good takeaways from this beta weekend, and hopefully I will continue to feel that way going into the public beta weekend that's coming out this weekend starting on, I think it's July 18th through the 21st, if I'm not mistaken. I'll also have that information in the description if you're interested. But yeah, the Overwatch comparisons are fair, but the thing is, the game really feels like Destiny. For those who are unaware, there are people who particularly worked on Destiny's PvP that have been working specifically on this game. A lot of people forget that Bungie is under the Sony umbrella now, and therefore they're using the Bungie employees for other things. So yeah, this really feels like Destiny. So if you're a fan of the Destiny 2 multiplayer, then you're probably going to be a fan of this. I used to be really into Destiny, but something that kept me from engaging or going back to the PvP all the time was just the imbalance when it came to people using exotics, or when it came to people using specific weapons or specific loadouts and everything like that. And it makes sense that it's difficult to fully balance, just because it's a looter shooter. You want all these guns to have different abilities and different perks, or these sets of armor to have this and that. Whereas in Concord, it's a character. So the loadout is the loadout. The balance is the balance. And this was the big difference that I experienced playing this game. If I was having a bad time playing a certain character, it was because I was not using that character appropriately, or I did not know the abilities that character had, or the passives that I should be trying to, take advantage of. And so, honestly, that element of the game, there again a couple balancing issues and tweaks that I'm sure that they can make, but overall, it felt really good. I also think that the time to kill is a really solid time to kill. It's not a twitch shooter where you can just kill somebody in one or two hits. Maybe you get away with doing that periodically if you get lucky, but most of the time, if you get attacked, you have a chance to defend yourself, or to disengage, or to respond and whatnot. And so I really liked that about the game. The time to kill is really solid. A big thing that people also were talking about is the style of the game. It's, when you look at it, it is immediately that Guardians of the Galaxy style, where it's like it's in space, but it's not like high sci-fi. It's kind of Star Warsy, Guardians of the Galaxy. And so a lot of people I've seen have been complaining about the style of the game. And I wasn't super keen on it the first time I saw it, but the more I engaged with it, the more I enjoyed the style and the creativity of like making these characters and whatnot. And at the end of the day, you have to commit to a certain artistic style in order to make a new thing. I get that it looks like a lot of other things that you've seen before, but it is trying to be unique in its specificity. It's one of those games where it just takes a lot of elements that work really well in other games, and it combines those elements to make a new thing. And so I think that is one of the big reasons I like it. Again, it's a hero team shooter. This has been done before, but their take on it is really refreshing. And also, like, the graphics the graphics look really good. It actually feels like a next gen shooter, kind of in the way that like the finals does, sort of. But it really feels like a next-gen game instead of just a newer version of a game that I've seen a million times before. So that's been refreshing to see as well. So the one concern that I really have for the game is, first of all, it's not free to play. So that might be a hiccup for people who are really just into competitive free-to-play shooters. The game is $40 at launch, so it's the same pricing as Helldivers. And because of that, I'm kind of antsy about the amount of content that's going to be in the game at launch. And so if there's not a lot of content in the game at launch, I think people might complain about that, and you could get some negative PR come back. There are 2 playable modes in the beta right now. One is your basic, team deathmatch, and the other is called Rivals. And in that mode, it's like, it's a rounds mode where there's different rounds, and then you, of course, you only have one spawn. So once you die, you have to wait until one team wins the round, and then you respawn for the next round. So yeah, I am a little bit worried about the content. Other than that, like, is there going to be a ranked mode? Is there going to be any kind of PvE for people who enjoy PvE? Obviously Overwatch added PvP, sort of, which was a little underwhelming, but whatever. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to take the opportunity to talk about this game, Concord, just because I do think it has potential. And if you're just jumping to it's an Overwatch clone, I'm not going to give it a chance, I would encourage you to give it a chance. It feels a lot like Destiny, and a balanced version of Destiny. And if you enjoy competitive shooting games that are not just Twitch games like Call of Duty or X Defiant or something like that, I think you might really enjoy Concord, and would encourage you to try and check it out this weekend. I'll be posting the beta link, the public beta information, in the description of this video, so be out on the lookout for that. And as always, thanks for tuning in to the Golden Glaze Gaming.